I take my job very seriously, and I want to start out by saying this because this is so important for me to say. I have been grown for a long time. I'm 56 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before my mother, who is watching this show, probably very concerned because I'm getting a million phone calls. I stand before my mother. I stand before Minister Farrakhan and the nation. I stand before Geno Jennings and his congregation. I stand before everybody in America who is trying to move upward in a positive manner. I want to say this about Corey Holcomb. I have never been able to punch any woman in my lifetime. Now, in 5th grade, I had a fight with a girl. She was a bully. She was bigger than me, and we had a fight like that. So I probably swung when I was in 5th grade. But I'm saying, real talk, I'm a comedian, so I try to be funny, but this is the truth. I have never punched a woman in my life. And all of the people who know me, who've been watching this show 15 years, 16 years, whatever, you have an idea of who I am.
So, of course, this is coming off the back of that video that was released by TMZ of Corey Holcomb. It looks like he's throwing a punch, but it looks like he's holding back. It's not a full-on punch. It's almost like he barged her with his fist. But most people are going to call that a punch. So I'm not really sure where Corey is going with this. Corey is in his 50s. He's a grown man. He has adult children. You know, he's a very accomplished comedian, been in this business for many, many years. He came to LA, I believe, in his 20s, he's early 30s. He really should know better. It's not the thing you're supposed to do. You definitely don't hit women. Even if you decide to hold back and you don't put your full weight and power in that punch, it still doesn't make it right. It still doesn't make it right, you know? And I think inherently Corey is a good guy, but at the same time, you can't defend that. You can't defend hitting women. Now, I understand that this woman, Christina, I believe her name is, apparently she gets into it with comedians. That's what I've heard. That's the word on the street. You know, she can be a little argumentative. She can kind of ruffle your feathers a bit. That's what I've heard. Someone said that she spat on him, but that is unverified, so I cannot confirm that. But apparently they were getting into it, so I can understand why Corey would get angry, would get agitated. But again, you cannot be hitting women. You cannot be doing that at all. But let's continue. Enough talking.
Years, whatever, you have an idea of who I am. Because there's a lot of people who have no idea who I am, so I can imagine them saying whatever with the information that's been put out there about me. I can imagine them saying, Corey is this, Corey is that, but I just want to put that out there because there's a lot of people who don't know me, and I want to be able to say that for myself, and I thank God I have a platform to say that for myself. My situation is crazy now. My reputation has been destroyed. I've never gone through anything like this. If you wanted to get me, let me tell you, you finally got me. Corey Holcomb, the human part of Corey Holcomb is starting to show itself. I want to apologize to the people in Hartford, Connecticut this weekend, my first show Saturday. They thought something was wrong with me. They thought I was, one dude said, he on dope. Because I was trying to medicate myself with Bear aspirin. I had some ibuprofen. I had all kind of stuff in me because I couldn't really sleep because I'm watching what TMZ was doing to me. I really couldn't sleep. I caught the flight from LA to Hartford. Normally by then I collapse, but I couldn't really sleep. I just kept, because I'm watching everything that's happening to me. I'm like, yo, they saying what? Okay, so when I was on stage for the second show on Saturday, I apologized to my people in Hartford, and I appreciate the way y'all was clapping when my friends, Foolish and Maurice, came and grabbed me, because I was nodded off in the chair and threw up.
What?
Because I hadn't eaten anything, and I put that medicine on my stomach.
He was on ibuprofen and aspirin. Well, we all know aspirin is a blood thinner, and ibuprofen ibuprofen reduces swelling, right? So I can imagine if you're taking both these pills at the same time, yeah, I imagine they are going to make you sick. But are you telling me both these pills are what made him vomit all over the place? I wonder. I really do wonder. You got to be very careful with pharmaceutical medications, you know. Got to read the labels. Got to make sure you've taken some food down before you decide to take these medications, because they can be quite intensive on the human body. So yeah, that's that's rather unfortunate to hear. But yeah, I do understand, because this has been all over TMZ since last week. People are making out like Corey is a woman beater, essentially. So yeah, I understand. You know, it must be taking a massive toll on Corey's mental health. And we all know Corey is the jokester. He's the comedian. He doesn't take anything seriously. He's always laughing. But when a major corporation, just like he said, TMZ, one of the biggest celebrity gossip sites out there, when they are making out like you are a bloody perpetrator, a bloody arsehole, a bloody woman beater, naturally, that's going to take a major, major toll on your mental health. So I understand perfectly well where Corey's coming from. You know, this has probably been one of the worst couple of weeks of his life. First, the Anton Daniels situation. Now, this situation is just getting worse and worse and worse. And, you know, Corey Holcomb is a very contentious individual. He does like talking. He does like going off at the mouth. So some people might be thinking Corey deserves this. I know Comedy Hype, I believe they also dropped a video on their page. You know what I mean? So there are people and organizations out there who do not like Corey Holcomb. You know, they think he's an arsehole. So for a lot of people, he's getting his comeuppance. He's getting what he deserves. He's getting his just desserts. Me, I'm just an outsider. I'm just an observer.
What? Because I hadn't eaten anything, and I put that medicine on my stomach. I didn't have no appetite because I was watching what's being said about me all over the goddamn internet and everything. TMZ, I can't beat TMZ. If TMZ say it, most people gonna believe it. So I just want to let Shawn Holley, who is in the dark trying to hide, I'm letting you know, I'm going to bring you out. I know what you've done to me. It's really foul what you did to me. And I can prove it. I can prove it. I just can't talk about the case right now. But I can prove what you've done to me with your friend Harvey Levin at TMZ. I can prove it. And I have a brother who I've acquired, a lawyer that I'm so grateful for. He's helped me in the past. And this dude, I just want to let y'all know, man, I don't get emotional about nothing, but I ain't never been under attack like this.
You know, I've known Mr. Holcomb for some time now, and I mean, he is just not just a lifesaver. He said, I'm a lifesaver. He's a lifesaver for me because he's such a great guy, client, and friend. And he called me, I mean, I literally was knocked out, and he called me in disarray about these false allegations that have been made against him. And his team today sent my office the entire client file. And I'm not going to get into any type of attorney-client privilege or attorney work product. But what I do know is that he may have a possible case for defamation against TMZ and others because, you know, from what I've seen, what they're saying about him is absolutely false. They're not telling both sides of the story, and it's a false, reckless disregard for the truth. And, you know, when you're out here buying news and reporting news because that's what TMZ does. They buy news. Some of this news is going to be fake.
Again, I wasn't there. I'm just an observer. This is alleged, but apparently the woman he supposedly allegedly punched, you've seen the video. You've seen the video. Apparently, she goes off at the mouth. She was doing a lot of talking. She was doing a lot of back chatting. She was disrespecting him. She may have been disrespecting his family. That's what happens. That's the human condition. When you're angry, when the blood is boiling, you're going to say all kinds of things to dismantle your opponent. That's how we're wired. So it's very likely that this woman, I believe her name's Christina, I may have got that wrong, but it's very, very likely that she said some disparaging things that triggered Corey. If someone disrespects you, that doesn't suddenly mean you can now go and physically accost that person. But at the same time, it's like, if this is taken to court, then I'm pretty sure Corey's going to be able to argue, well, she instigated this whole situation. Just because we have this one videotape, it doesn't mean that this videotape is going to prove that Corey was the aggressor. I'm pretty sure there are going to be many people who are willing to bat for Corey. I mean, it'll be crazy if Corey does have a case against TMZ. And for many years, TMZ has been going after many, many different celebrities. A lot of celebrities hate TMZ. They despise what the organization represents, what they do to people. The organization can be very disparaging against certain individuals that live in that celeb culture, who live in Hollywood. So if Corey does have a case, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very, very happy indeed.
Who's fake is where you don't go and research both sides of the story. There are public records that are on file that my client, Mr. Corey Holcomb, has a restraining order against this young lady. That was not reported, and that's a public record, and TMZ could have just pulled that up. So it's clear that there's much more to this story, and we'll get into it, and we'll discuss a possible case. But I mean, this is clear defamation. It's false. It's a reckless disregard for the truth, and people need to be held accountable for it because Corey, like he just said, he had to almost cancel the show.
I'm gonna be bold enough to say this. When I found out that I had a case against me, it was because I call it God, but a person who is a lawyer called me 4 or 5 days before the second hearing was to be held and said, "Do you know that there is a case against you?" And I said, "No." You know what I'm saying? She was like, "This is the second hearing and someone has said you pulled out a gun." So it was, I went into court under the heat, and when I went to the courthouse, you could not find where the case was being held. The only reason I was able to find out where the case was being held is because I'm Corey Holcomb, and somebody say, "What's up?" And I was like, "Hey man, I can't find it. It's not on the board." So I don't know, Derek. Do you know can you give me any information on what I may be up against? Because I believe this woman named Shawn Holley, which I'm going to talk about during this show, I believe she is behind it all. I do, because she was brought out in the courtroom because somebody made a mistake and pretended like Shawn Holley was their lawyer. And the judge called her. And when you hear this phone call, Miss Shawn Holley is going to have a lot of explaining to do.
Let's try and figure out who this Shawn Holley is. Let's see if we can actually... Shawn Holley, American attorney. Oh, I see. I have seen her before. This is interesting. Shawn Holley, American attorney. So I'm guessing she is the one that's... Oh, so she's connected to Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, former attorney, responds to Rock Nation. Tory Lane's ex-attorney Shawn Holley has responded to the rapper's accusations that she worked with Jay-Z's Rock Nation to orchestrate his incarceration. Lays addressed the contentious trial in which he was found guilty of shooting Megan Thee Stallion by making a series of bold statements on his latest album, Peterson, recorded during his prison stint. During the verdict day proceedings, he sharply criticized Holley, who stepped down midway through the December 2022 trial, alleging covert collaboration with the opposing side. Trial lawyer left me like she left Kevin Liles. She was in bed with my opposition like wedding vows, bars. He stated, Tory continued, Shawn Holley, that's a name I would call special. Only a special person could rep you. Okay. So Shawn Holley seems to have a reputation of backstabbing her clients. Allegedly. And so Corey Holcomb believes she is also responsible for bringing this case up with the woman he allegedly punched. Let me type in Shawn Holley, Corey Holcomb. Just a lot of YouTube videos, no news articles, but a lot of videos. There does seem to be more to this case. Let's click on this link, this Facebook link. So a lot of people are making videos about this attorney, Shawn Holley, being responsible for bringing this case up against Corey Holcomb. Actually, in fact, it was Corey Holcomb. This is Corey Holcomb's Facebook page, I believe. He actually posted this. And 11 months ago, Corey Holcomb actually made a video about TMZ.
TMZ has been sicked on Corey Holcomb. Hey, you got that picture of the RoboCop? Put RoboCop up on the screen.
Who was that?
That's Asian RoboCop. Dead or alive, I'm frying your rice. Right here. You don't know who that is, D? Want me to tell you why? When I went to court, I didn't know who that was because I had never seen the forehead back that far. But she didn't have time to pull that bang forward in court.
That's the woman.
That's that woman.
So this has been going on for a long time. A long time. I don't know why suddenly it was brought up again. This is crazy.
I'm going to be able to prove that TMZ was sicked on me. Your phone records are going to prove that TMZ was sent at me to bring negative media coverage on my black ass.
Check out the comments. He's been dealing with her for 11 months, calling her Murphy. Yeah, this case has been going on for ages. Wow.
You could tell what happened. I can't because you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't give details of that.
So
I
here
hope
you
you'll
go.
tell that.
So they asking me questions. She like, did you see Corey do this? I said no. Which if you see me on the video, I ain't see a goddamn thing. I ain't see shit. So they asking more questions. I'm like, no, I don't know nothing like that. So during the time, you hear the judge saying, hey, who you texting? Who you texting? Who you texting? And so I'm looking at my phone and this text coming through talking about say this, say that. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, bro. We don't rock like that. You got me fucked up. Say
Man,
this.
come on, bro. What was she telling you
Telling
to
me
say?
to say something about a pistol, man. I'm like, man, a pistol? I'm like, nigga. So what happened was apparently somebody put the rumor out and then they try to use me and say, oh, he was there because I stayed after the aftermath. I stayed the whole night. You know what I'm saying? I'm the first one on the block, last nigga to leave. I'm standing to see everything.
Guys, let me just leave it there. I imagine he's going to be talking about this for the next hour or so. It's going to be a long one today, but let me just leave it there. Clearly, there's more to this case. Clearly, there are a lot of details that are missing. You know, some people are saying that the woman spat on him. Some people are saying that the woman, was completely disparaging him and his family. But I imagine in the next few weeks, in the next few months, we're gonna find out more about this entire thing, this crazy brouhaha, this chaotic nightmare that this Corey Holcomb is going through. So guys, let me just leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one.